Greetings to you students. Welcome to class 6 English online class. Today the topic for our discussion is spices of India. Children, this topic is presented in your term 1 book unit 3 under the supplementary section. Okay, let's get started. Children, before getting into the lesson, let me ask you a question. Do you like food? Definitely yes, isn't it? And that too, when it comes to spicy food, your mouth starts watering, isn't it? Okay, now that this lesson is all about spices, first let's get some knowledge of what are spices. Children, spices are an aromatic or pungent substance used to flavor food. Children, aromatic means a pleasant and distinctive smell. Pungent means a sharp, strong taste or smell. So, spices are an aromatic or pungent substance used to flavor food. Is it clear, children? Children, now here is an interesting information for you. Children, of the 109 spices approved by the International Organization for Standardization, 75 of them are grown in India. That is why India is called as the world's spice bowl. Isn't that interesting, children? Okay, now let's read the lesson and understand it clearly. Let's begin. In India, spices are the soul of food. When we think of spices, we think of tasty and healthy food. So children, in India, spices are the most essential ingredient used to cook food. Just as our souls are important for our spiritual growth, so also spices are essential to cook food. Many of the spices in our food are added to balance nutrition and to keep us healthy. They add flavor and nutrients to dishes without fat or calories. See children, spices have medicinal values. And that is why when spices are added to our food, they balance the nutrition and keep us healthy. And moreover, they do not contain any fat. So they do not add extra calories to our food. But at the same time, increase the flavor and nutrients of the dishes. Is it clear, children? Children, some spices are very important in Indian food. Now let's see what they are. Children, spices like cumin, mustard, pepper, cloves, fennel, cinnamon and turmeric are very important in Indian food. That's great, isn't it? Children, when we speak of Indian food, what comes first to our mind? Let's see. When it comes to Indian food, the first thing that comes to many people's mind is probably spicy curry, isn't it? Now, from where is the word curry derived? Children, people say curry comes from the Tamil word curry. In Tamil, curry means sauce. Children, the English people use the word sauce instead of curry. Is it clear, children? Okay, now how is this curry or sauce made? Children, curry is something that is cooked with a roasted or powdered mixture of spices, condiments and herbs. Children, condiments are items such as salt, mustard, etc. which we use to season our food. So a mixture of spices, condiments and herbs are used to prepare sauce. Is it clear, children? Now, do all people use the same combination or proportion of spices? Definitely no, because the mixture of spices can be different in different places. It can be mild or it can be spicy and pungent. Children, you too might have experienced that the same dish does not taste the same in all places. Isn't it, children? For instance, Take the example of the most favorite dish by many people, biryani. There are so many varieties and flavors of biryani. Biryani which is cooked in South India is more spicy than the one cooked in North India. Isn't it, children? Okay, let's continue. Now let's see which part of a plant is used as spices. Children, different parts of a plant are used as spices. See children, some flowers of a plant are used as spices. In some, leaves are used. In some, roots are used. In some, the bark is used. In some, the seeds are used. And in some, the bulbs are used as spices. So, flowers, leaves, roots, barks, seeds and bulbs are combined in many different ways to produce a great variety of flavors. Is it clear, children? Okay, now let's see what are the great variety of flavors of spices. Children, the great variety of flavors of spices are sweet, sharp, hot, sour, spicy, aromatic, tart, mild, fragrant or pungent. Children, sour means acidic taste like that in lemons. Tart also means sour. Is it clear, children? Children, when the spices are cooked with rice, meat, fish or vegetables, the spices give the dish a special savory taste. Savory taste means salty and spicy. Thus, it makes us want to eat more. That's true, isn't it, children? Let's continue. Children, what else do spices bring to our mind? But apart from delicious means tasty food, spices also bring to mind adventure. Why is it so? Let's see. Children, many of the most exciting voyages of modern history were made to conquer the spice trade and the race to become its master. Children, voyage means a long journey by sea or in space. So many countries wanted to become leaders in spice trade. Is it clear, children? Now, let's see who were the voyagers who undertook these adventures. Children, the colonization of America and Asia had its roots in spice trade. Children, in the year 1492, Columbus, do you know who is Columbus? Yes, Columbus was an Italian explorer and navigator, went west to find India and pepper, but ran into America and the Chile. So actually, Columbus wanted to come to India and get pepper, but since he travelled westwards, he landed in America and discovered Chile. Is it clear? The next voyager is Vasco da Gama. Now, who is Vasco da Gama? Vasco da Gama was a Portuguese explorer and the first European to reach India. So, Vasco da Gama, 6 years later, went around Africa. That is, he travelled eastwards and went around Africa to reach Kozhikode, the home of pepper. Children, Kozhikode is a coastal city in Kerala and it is a significant spice trade center. Children, these voyages ended the very profitable trade that the Arabs and the Romans had built up over the centuries. They set the stage for a new world. Children, before the voyages of Vasco da Gama and the others, the people who traded with India were the Arabs and the Romans. So with the entry of the Portuguese and other nations, the profitable trade of the Arabs and Romans ended. In fact, it set the stage for a new world. So far, did you understand, children? Good. Now, here is a question for you. How do you think the expansion of the spice trade set the stage for a new world? Let's see. Children, spices were always an important part of India's trade. Spices were traded with Mesopotamia, China, Sumeria, Egypt and Arabia along with perfumes and textiles as far as 7,000 years ago, much before the Greek and Roman civilizations. Children, we would have all learnt in history that the Greek and Roman civilizations were the earliest civilizations in the world. But even before that, that is, as far back as 7,000 years ago, India had spice trade with Mesopotamia, China, Sumeria, Egypt and Arabia. Children, along with the spices, perfumes and textiles were also traded. So with the entry of new countries, the trade scene of the entire world changed. So in this way, the expansion of the spice trade set the stage for a new world. Is it clear, children? Children, now let's see if there are any written proofs of Indian spices. Children, Indian epics and writings. Epics are great historical legends. For example, Ramayana and Mahabharata, dating back to the Roman Empire in the 1st century AD, talk about cloves. Moreover, thousands of years ago, the great masters of Ayurveda had listed the use of spices for cooking and in medicines. So about 1,000 years ago, the great doctors of Ayurveda have explained the uses of spices for cooking and as medicines. How great is our nation, isn't it, children? Children, today spices are easily available. But what was the condition centuries back? Let's see. While these spices are readily available today, there was a time when people risked their lives to get Indian spices. Such was the demand for Indian spices those days. Children, during the Middle Ages, that is from the 5th to the 15th century, a pound of ginger, that means less than half a kilogram of ginger, was worth the price of a sheep. So less than half a kilogram of ginger was equal to the price of a sheep. In the same way, a pound of maize is jaripatri, which was less than half a kilogram, was equal to the price of 3 sheep or half the price of a cow. And pepper was the crown jewel of all spices. So pepper was the most precious of all spices. So from this we understand that Indian spices were considered to be very valuable. Now I have another question for you. What are those spices that the world wanted so badly? Children, the world needed some spices from India at any cost. Children, spices like cardamom, cloves, ginger, mace and nutmeg were some of the other spices that left the Indian shores, that is, went abroad to flavor the world's kitchen or international kitchens. That's great, isn't it? Let's continue. Children, how long have we been using spices in cooking? Let's read and find out. Children, using spices in cooking has a long history. It may go back as far as 52,000 years ago. Though we cannot know for sure how men came to use spices, it is quite possible that it was by chance. So children, no one knows how spices came into use for the first time, but it is guessed that it was by trial. But children, however, spices have played a vital role, that is an important role in our food for a long time. So far, did you understand, children? Good. Children, in earlier centuries, spices were not easily available and were very expensive. That is, they were very costly. Thus, spice traders became richer. But now, children, the entire scene has changed. Now, spices are easily available. Children, pepper and cinnamon no longer cost a fortune. Children, earlier pepper and cinnamon were very costly. But now, since they are easily available, their rates have become normal. Children, However, while they seem to have lost their glory and value, they will never lose their place in a kitchen, especially an Indian one. So children, once upon a time, pepper and cinnamon were in the peak of their glory and value. But now it has reduced. Though it has reduced, it is always an important part of the Indian kitchen. Children, you would have also seen your mother using these spices every day in the kitchen, isn't it? Such is the value of Indian spices. Is it clear, children? Now, let's know some facts about black pepper. Children, black pepper, also known as black gold, was the most prized spice traded from Kerala coast. So children, black pepper was also called as black gold, and it was the costliest of all spices, and this black pepper was available in the Kerala coast. Children, Indians have been using black pepper for a long time. Farmers began growing it around 5,000 years ago and exported it to North and West Asia. See children, Indian farmers have been growing black pepper for about 5,000 years. They sold it to other countries in North and West Asia. Children, the trade soon spread to countries like Greece, Rome, Europe, and China, and also became popular in the Islamic Empire. Is it clear, children? Children, the Romans loved black pepper. This we come to know because recipes from rich Roman households show the value of the spice in ancient Rome. Children, now here is an interesting fact for you. The Romans sent 120 ships a year from Egypt to trade with India and bring back enormous means huge quantities of pepper. So the Romans valued black pepper very highly. So children, these are some facts about black pepper. So far, did you understand, children? Good. Now, let's know some facts about cinnamon. Children, Indians have been using cinnamon for a long time. Even the Chinese wrote about it in 2700 BC. Children, adding cinnamon to food has two uses. Cinnamon not only adds great flavor to food but helps to preserve it. That is, it doesn't allow the food to decay. So these are the two uses of cinnamon. Is it clear, children? Children, the fragrance and taste of cinnamon is liked by many. Children, people from other parts of the world appreciated the fragrance and taste of cinnamon. They wanted it too and were willing to pay a good price for it. That is, people spent huge amounts to buy cinnamon. Isn't that interesting, children? Children, the Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians bought cinnamon from India. In the Middle Ages, that is from the 5th to the 15th century, the Venetians. Now, who are the Venetians? The Venetians are the people from Venice. They grew rich by levying or charging tax on the cinnamon that was brought from India to Europe and the Mediterranean countries. So children, these are some interesting facts about cinnamon. So far, did you understand, children? Good. Children, here is a chart showing the history of the spices. Children, from 3000 BCE to 200 BCE, Arabs traded spices and herbs among early civilizations. From 200 BCE to 1200 CE, the Romans controlled the trade. From 1200 CE to 1500 CE, Europeans explored passages to the East Indies. From 1400 CE to 1600 CE, wars for control of the spice trade break out. From 1500 CE to 1700 CE, English exploration begins. From 1600 CE to 1900 CE, Americans entered the spice trade. Today, we export pepper, cardamom, ginger, chili, turmeric, coriander and cumin. So far, did you understand, children? Good. Children, now here is a do you know fact. What do you see in the image here? Yes, you can see a field full of sugarcane. Children, sugarcane is considered as an exotic spice. Now let's read and find out some more information about sugarcane. Children, one of the earliest plants that Indians grew was sugarcane. It is valuable both for providing energy and for its great taste. Isn't it interesting, children? Children, I hope you enjoyed learning this lesson along with me. Go through the video again and understand clearly. Keep reading, keep learning, keep safe until we meet in the next session. Thank you, children.